Search, look, there's some things, some gifts, some things on the inside. You may have an idea, a vision, a dream, an invention, and just get started. Sometimes the key is to just get started without knowing the end result. Everybody can go right if we got a guarantee of the end result. A lot of folks will start a podcast if they're guaranteed 100 million viewers. But when there are no guarantees when it comes to that, right? It's let me show up and do the work. And I encourage the audience with that.
Welcome to Inspired Choice today. I'm Caroline Bisalski and I'm thrilled to have you here. On this show, we go beyond the ordinary, diving into the stories of remarkable individuals from around the globe, leaders, entrepreneurs, authors, and creatives who have made bold choices to pursue their passions. Each guest on Inspired Choice today has a unique journey to share, filled with insights, breakthroughs, and lessons that inspire and uplift. My goal is to bring you real conversations that fuel your own journey, whether you're seeking personal growth, business wisdom, or simply a spark of inspiration to say yes to your own dreams. Thank you for joining us on this journey of transformation and purpose. Now, let's get into today's inspiring interview. Hello and welcome, Inspired Podcast community. This is your new episode. My name is Caroline and my today's guest is Michael T. Brown, and I'm so happy that you are here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Caroline. Great to be with you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine too. Thank you so much. And I would love to introduce you to the audience. You are a licensed professional counselor, leader, and speaker dedicated to empowering individuals and families to achieve their personal and professional goals. With a passion for community outreach and education, you have a proven track record of success highlighted by your 2003 PwC Above and Beyond Award for Excellence in Counseling. You also hosted the Brown Bag with Michael T. Brown on Blog Talk Radio, engaging with key community figures and addressing critical societal issues. Your work is driven by a commitment to inspire and mobilize others through education and meaningful dialogue. Welcome to the Inspired Podcast, Michael T. Brown.
Thank you. Great to be with you.
So great. My first question to you: how do you believe community engagement and dialogue can play a role in addressing the critical issues facing society today?
Caroline, great question. I'm a firm believer that, you know, everybody has a gift and everyone has an opportunity to serve. And I think service can be at the heart of societal change. But I think in many ways it starts with understanding our own value, knowing our own worth, loving and valuing ourselves, and focusing in on our own mental, physical, spiritual, our own emotional health. Because I believe healthy individuals make up healthy relationships and healthy communities. So when we're in a good position personally, then we're able to show up and serve others. And when we serve others, well, I always say never underestimate the impact of what one committed person can do. And I'm a firm believer in that we all play a role, we all have a gift, but we have to know who we are so that we can show up and better serve others and serve our communities.
Wow, thank you for your answer. And would you like to share your gifts and talents with us?
Oh, well, I believe one of my gifts is to inspire, to teach, and to motivate. Um, you know, I, Once we realize, for example, what platform we have, and one of my platforms is through the platform of mental health therapy, that, we can work on our emotional health, our mental health when we get serious about change. And I think that's one of my gifts is to help people identify their issues, their challenges, help them work through any past pain or trauma, but ultimately help individuals reach their goals. And there's steps and skills and strategies and a safe space that needs to be created to help others. And I believe that's one of my gifts, to help people reach their potential and
Wow,
reach their
that's so
goals.
true. What you said about creating the space, I love that so much. And also, you talked about people have to be serious about making a change, and this is so important. So, I heard the not the definition, but about the difference between the words choice and decision. How important is this? And what is your advice or definition of the two words?
Well, that's good. I like the way you phrased that. My first thought is that we all have choices. We can choose to get up in the morning or not. We can choose what we want to eat, or not. We can choose if we want to make lasting change in our lives or not. So the choices is like the menu, but the decision is an action point. The decision we need to stand by. Decisions have consequences. So I think it's important that we examine our choices. Look at the menu. Look at the menu of our lives and say, what is it that I want to achieve? What lifestyle do I want to live? But it only really takes root until we make that committed decision. And I encourage somebody may be listening today, and I don't know what they're going through, what they may be experiencing, but they may have a menu of choices out in front of them. But we can say, hey, look, make a decision that's going to help you reach your goals. Make a decision, right, that we want to be healthy, not toxic, that we want to live a life that's full of value and meaning and purpose. And I commend you for making the decision to host this podcast because you've chosen, right, to use your gifts, your talents, your platform to inspire change. And I commend you for that.
Thank you so much. The message is well received. Now we have clarity about the difference between choice and decision. It takes a decision and, of course, courage
That's right.
to change. And let's have a look at my next question. Can you share a memorable experience from your radio program that had a significant impact on your listeners or community?
Yes, I recall, you know, speaking with, some key community leaders who looked at their situation, looked at their neighborhood, looked at their community, and just took the courageous step of saying, I can make a difference. I remember speaking with a gentleman who was involved in the world of politics. And I remember a conversation on the broadcast where he was sharing how politics, the key root word is policy. And why we live in some polarizing political times, right? In various countries, and there's so much division, right, in our world, is that people of goodwill can use policy to impact lives in a positive way. Because while there is some division, there's a lot of communities that are doing things the right way. And I think we need to highlight those positive stories. We need to highlight those that are doing it right, who believe in consensus building, who understand that compromise in politics, for example, is not a dirty word. We're not going to always get everything that we want, but ultimately we can still produce good through whatever platform we have, through whatever field or vocation we're in. And that really stood out with some of the people I spoke to on the broadcast, how one person can make a difference when they commit to making change and have the courage to act on those convictions.
I love that. That reminds me of the quote by Gandhi, I think, be the change you want to see in the world. And you remind me also of the decision. We talked about decision to make a difference. And no matter what platform, you use the word platform as well, or community you are in, your workspace, your vocation. You can choose wisely. And I love that so much. I was thinking about the word division. You use division, and I'm thinking, where's the difference between division and separation, for
Mm,
example?
that's good. I like
Mhm.
you like definitions in words. I like that. Yeah, that's good. Division.
Mm.
you know, is when we've been. Well, I think they're closely aligned, to be honest with you. Division and separation, I think, in many ways, I'd say, is are synonyms. They're a lot alike. Um, so I don't see too much of a clear distinction. Well, actually, I do have one. When we think about divided, it seems like more of a stronger word than separation in a way. Because if we're separated, we can reconcile. A married couple may say, let's separate for a time, for the time being, but work towards reconciliation. Division sounds a little more like a hard line, and it would seem like there's less room for reconciliation. So those are the distinctions that stand out for me on that.
Yeah, I see what you mean, and I understand. Maybe when you have a whole and you divide it, sometimes the two pieces are destroyed. And and you talked about separation, then maybe they are separate, but they can go back together. You said this. Oh, I love that. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I didn't know that I would ask you about that before I prepared the podcast,
that's
but
good.
of course the question is there and has to be asked. And you are the expert. I am happy to interview today. Thank you so much. What strategies do you recommend for individuals and families who are looking to achieve their personal and professional goals in today's challenging environment?
Really good question. I think it ties into what we just talked about as far as division is concerned. I'm thinking about the political climate right now in the U.S. There's so much talk about how divided we are. There's so much talk about we're a divided nation. And I come up against that. I think we need to watch our language. There's a lot of people who are peddling how divided we are. And I think sometimes they do it for different reasons. Don't get me wrong. There's some clear differences. There are some legitimate things, legitimate topics that we might not agree on. But I would say the vast majority of people wake up each day, go into jobs, and get along with people, get things done, keep the trains running on time. We might not agree on all the issues, right? In any country, right? There's going to be people who don't see things the same. But I'd say we still keep the trains running on time. We still can find common ground. And I think that's a nice principle to take into our families, into our communities, to realize we're not going to agree on everything, but we can acknowledge our differences and agree to treat each other fairly and with kindness, even when we don't agree. Can we agree without being disagreeable? Can we leave enough room, right, to have tough conversations and still respect and honor each other in the process? And if we'll do that in families, if we'll do that in communities, then we can have an environment that we all can enjoy, even when we don't agree.
Yes. I learned that somewhere. I think in my psychology studies that the family is the smallest entity, right? And when we work on that, of course, then you talk about community as well. Yeah, community, and then it will impact larger communities and eventually the country and the whole world.
And if we disagree the right way, if we debate issues versus attacking people, a lot of times we get better results. If everybody just agrees on everything, we might not get the best outcomes. It's often what comes with difficult conversations, with friction, that we get a better result. There's a spiritual teaching that says iron sharpens iron, which means there's friction. Good things can come out of friction. It can help sharpen us. It can help us get better results. And I think that spirit can go a long way.
Oh, that encourages me to move on, of course. Thank you so much. I
Yes,
mean,
ma'am.
in life or, with, and I love how you emphasized about when we detach from, in my words, to detach the topic, the subject from the people
Yes.
that brings it up to the table in companies, for example, in work environments, of course. Thank you so much. Let's talk about coaches and mentors. You are helping people. Do you have coaches and mentors for yourself? And who was the best coach you ever had?
Wow, great question. I do believe in coaches and mentors, and I've had so many, so many people that have deposited positive into me. I start with my parents. They both made valuable deposits because in many ways, right, we learn so much from our first teachers, and it's our parents. And that's why I was blessed, to have a mom and dad who instilled a lot of positive values. And one of the main values they helped instill was a belief in service and community and investing in your faith, right? In our spiritual lives, because regardless of belief or religious beliefs or denominations, I mean, and there's different views, and I respect that. But I think we all have a spirit, whether it falls into a faith denomination or religious perspective is one thing, but I think we all have a soul, we all have a spirit, and our coaches and our mentors, right, help feed that spirit, help feed that sense of belief, right, that in many ways we all are a part of something bigger than ourselves. We all can contribute to the world and make a positive difference.
Yes, absolutely. Make a difference, make a decision to be the difference. Of course, we learned this in the first question already.
Right.
And I have to re listen to this episode again because there were so many nuggets in it, especially what you talked about faith as well. What is faith? Believing in the unseen, right?
That's right. That's
Mhm.
right. That we all can connect to something higher than ourselves. And for many, that's God or their belief system, religious, spiritual wise. For others, it's humanity. It's a part of being a part of a world that we all can benefit from, and a higher sense of purpose or meaning or value, whatever the source or the belief for the person, right? We have our personal preferences on that. But I think most people would agree that it is important to serve a purpose higher than just ourself.
Absolutely. You talked about purpose, the higher purpose, and you help people to reach their personal and professional goals. And what about your goals? Do you set goals for yourself or intentions? And what is one of your next projects?
I do. And one of my personal goals is to continue doing what I'm doing, just to continue to try to impact as many lives as I can in a positive way through various platforms, whether one on one, small groups, large groups, online, in person, to continue to teach, motivate, and inspire others to reach the best version of ourselves. And yeah, I'm really would like to do personally more public speaking and reach larger audiences, and opportunities like this certainly help. So I appreciate it.
Yes, it helps. Thank you so much for saying yes again. And when you said about, what was it? You would like to continue. That reminds me also, you have to be persistent, of course, and showing up on a daily basis so
That's right.
consistently. And what are your, yeah, your tips or advices to keep, to continue, to encourage people or to motivate? What do you do to show up every day?
I think know our why first of all. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Because if we know why, then the how becomes more fluid. When we remember our purpose, why do I get up? Who will this impact? What's my what's the significance of it? Am I passionate about it? And if we are, and we love what we're doing, then are we willing to commit to the discipline of it? Are we willing to do it? When you love it, you will push through the distractions, the difficulty, the adversity, because it's deep inside of us. I think we all should tap into something deep inside of us that will outlive us. These podcasts, right, may outlive you, Carolyn. Somebody may hear this 50 years from now. And the seeds you're planting now, right? The seeds we plant now can outlive us. And I think that's a beautiful portrait. To find what you love, commit to it, and build discipline around it. I heard it put this way: there's two times to do the right thing, when we feel like it and when we don't.
Oh.
So when we feel like keeping going or not, we say, it's bigger than me.
Oh.
I'm going to serve others with a joyful spirit and a joyful heart. And a privilege, what a privilege and an honor it is to be able to have the opportunity to do that. And so many people may be listening right now and they say, I haven't found my purpose. I haven't found my passion. Well, just decide you want to find it and let that be your homework. Search, look, there's some things, some gifts, some things on the inside. You may have an idea, a vision, a dream, an invention, and just get started. Sometimes the key is to just get started without knowing the end result. Everybody can go right if we got a guarantee of the end result. A lot of folks will start a podcast if they're guaranteed 100 million viewers. But when there are no guarantees when it comes to that, right? It's let me show up and do the work. And I encourage the audience with that.
Thank you so much. This is so valuable. It is well received, your message, of course. And I was questioning myself, of course, while you were talking. Why am I doing this? And this podcast truly is my passion. And you don't know this. Nobody knows because the episode was not published yet, number 365. I asked her for her goal, and she says she wants to celebrate her 100th birthday. And I said to
Wow,
her, you know what? You become 100 and I do a podcast interview with you. So it is like a bet or something.
that's
It
awesome.
happens in 46 years. So that means in 2070, people who are listening to this now, you know, save the date. You say this? I don't know. Yes. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm so happy that we talked. And I have to know, where do we find you when people reach out to you after listening to this, of course, and they want advice or counselation is the word. I don't know about how to find their purpose. Where can we find you?
Yes, they can go to my website, brownsleadership.com/home, brownsleadership.com/home. And they can also find me on Twitter at mtbrown98, or now known as X, at mtbrown98. And if they Google search my name, Michael T. Brown, there's some various ways to find me there as well. So yeah, that's the way I can be reached.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing. I follow you already. I found you on X, however it is called, and everywhere. Of course, we are connected now. And now is time for your last thoughts to the audience, please.
Well, first of all, thank you for hosting me and for having me on this platform. I do appreciate it. And to the audience, I would say find your purpose, be passionate about it, and build discipline around it. Because we all have gifts, skills, attributes, and a calling, right? When we tap into a sense of calling, a sense of, I know why I'm here and I'm going to be excited about doing it, then you're already winning. When we're focusing in on serving others, we often get blessed in the process as well. So be encouraged, be motivated, be inspired, and know that it's okay to not have all the answers. It's okay that if you're struggling personally, mentally, emotionally, that there's people out here who can help. It's okay to focus on your mental health. It's okay to say, I'm not okay, but I want to get better. And I encourage the audience with that.
Wow, thank you so much. Please reach out to Michael. He's amazing. I'm absolutely blessed by this episode. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Michael T. Brown.
Thank you, Carolyn. Have a great day.
You too, and see you in the next episode. Thank you for tuning in to the Inspired Choice Today podcast. We hope you found today's conversation as enriching as we did. If you're feeling inspired and ready to take the next step in your own journey, I'd love to offer you a free 20-minute consultation. This is a chance to explore any challenges you're facing, get clarity on your goals, or just connect and discuss where you want to go next. Reach out to me directly to schedule your consultation. I'd be honored to support you on your path. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a new episode filled with inspiration, insights, and powerful stories. Until next time, keep making those inspired choices every day.